And welcome once again to another episode of Flash Talk. We're live in the GF TV studios, and we're brought to you by Bryant Heating and Cooling. Dan Griffin alongside head ball coach Todd Starkey. And Coach, some happy news as you guys are up to number 9 in the mid-major poll, and I believe that's the highest rank in program history. And now both teams in the top 10 for the first time in school history. So that's some really cool stuff.
Yeah, until last night it was.
Well, that's not a mid-major loss.
We'll take. Obviously, we've done some good work here in the non-conference, some big wins, and it is good for our program to get in the top 10 in the mid-major poll, and great for our men's program to be top 5. So which really I think it needs to be recognized that Kent State is one of the best men's and women's basketball schools in the country. If you look at that, so both teams are doing well and off to a good start. Obviously, have some things still to learn, but we're excited about the way things have been going. You
alluded to obviously the tough setback against the Duquesne Dukes yesterday, playing in a hostile environment on the road in Pittsburgh against an A10 quality A10 opponent. Just what did you guys learn coming off of that game?
Yeah, we have to play every possession. We kind of got out to a slow start, which is not like us. Game started out 16-6. If it wasn't for Hannah Young knocking down some early threes, hit her first 3 threes, probably would have been a bigger margin. But battled back. I thought during the middle of the game we played well at times, and then fourth quarter, Duquesne just kind of took it to us. So I was not pleased with our focus and energy, execution down the stretch, which has not been like us. But we'll get that fixed, and we've already watched film and see some things we need to work on as we're moving forward.
Well, you guys get another opportunity to play in front of a good home crowd here this weekend. It's the Battle of Portage County as Hiram comes into town. But this is a great chance for the students to put the books down, come out and relax a little bit, watch some high-quality women's basketball before we hit the books again for finals week. So a nice little home cooking for you guys over the next few days.
Yeah, we're excited about getting home. Obviously, we've played Hiram in the past. It's nice for both teams to be able to play a Portage County game like that, and always enjoy hosting the Terriers here, and looking forward to getting back on our home court and working on some things and continuing to improve.
Hey, you guys get a nice kind of home slate here coming up. I know that the finals break obviously puts a kind of a hiatus on some things, but we've got a really cool opportunity coming up with like we said, with the inter-county battle, and then an education day where we get to invite all of Portage County to come and cheer you guys on, which is always an electric environment.
Yeah, it's fun for us too to have these games surrounding kind of bookending finals week. Otterbein coming in here the week after that on the 20th, right before Christmas, in our education game, which is always great for us, and excited to have as many elementary school kids in the building as possible, and the high decibels of sound that go on probably can be heard all around campus. So it's exciting for us, our players for sure, the kids that are in the building, but excited to be home for the next 3 games as we come back after Christmas and host Coppin State on New Year's Eve day. So we're excited. We've had a tough non-conference schedule. Right now we're ranked 20th in the country in strength of schedule. We're 37th in the RPI in the country after 8 games. That might be the highest we've ever been as well. And some good things happening for us. Once again, it was a tough setback to a really good Duquesne team last night. Had our opportunities, but they played really well and deserved to win that game. And we'll learn from it and continue to move forward.
Yeah, and like you said, you obviously some things to work on, but you were this was a 1 and 2 possession game up until some free throws and some end of game situations just make the score a little bit larger. Like, I think it was 6 than when it actually was. But again, you guys, like you said, you got off to a slow start. We've talked about this before. A lot of teams would just be like, all right, well, this is just not our night, and all of a sudden it gets out of control. But not only did that not happen, you guys take a lead into the locker room at the half. So you kind of work through those sluggish starts and are able to fight through that adversity.
Yeah, lead in the locker room at halftime, and then got off to a slow start in the third quarter, battled back, and was tied at the end of the third quarter. To be honest with you, it really felt a lot like the Florida State game where we kind of let things slip away at the end. So 2 of our 3 losses are against two really good teams, and had our opportunities. But we got to learn from that as we're moving into conference play. I think the nice thing about it is this team certainly has not come close to playing its best basketball yet. We have not really put together a quality game on both sides of the ball yet. We've been pretty rigid defensively throughout the non-conference. Last night was not that case, but we did make 14 threes. So you'd like to think if you make 14 threes, you're going to win the game, but we had some deficiency. We only shot 7 free throws. I'll leave that where it is with that comment. But I think some other things were, didn't go in our favor. We still had opportunities to win, couldn't kind of capitalize. But like I said, non-conference is to teach you the lessons you need to learn going into tough MAC play, and I think we've learned some significant lessons, and we still have 3 non-conference games to really kind of work those things out.
And with this kind of extended, you get Hiram coming up on Sunday, then the extended break before we take on Otterbein. How do you mix and match practice, game film, getting the team rested while also having them deal with final exams?
Yeah, a combination of all those things. Obviously, the focus needs to shift a little bit for the next couple days. Obviously, it's preparation for Hiram and making sure that we have the right game plan in place and go forward to execute that. Finals week, obviously, is a combination of a lot of things: skills work, film, like you said, full practice. We have some recruiting to do as we're moving closer to Christmas holidays, and we have some breaks in things for our myself and our staff to get out and watch not only players that we've already signed for next year, which is exciting, but players that we're in the process of recruiting. And then you gotta stay in shape and keep your rhythm and all that type of thing. So it really is a mixed bag of a lot of things, and that's our job to kind of put that together for the players so that they're prepared physically and mentally for basketball, but also have the mental rest that they need to be effective in the classroom as finals week approaches.
There's probably no right way to do it, but certainly, like you said, it is a delicate balance to kind of the tough life of a Division I student athlete when the student part kind of flexes a little bit during that week.
Yeah, they got a lot of moving parts, and as academically minded as our team is, the success that our some of the majors that our players are in, we've got a lot of pre-med majors, and we've got education majors, and a lot of student athletes that are in some rigorous academic fields. So they've got a lot on their mind with that as well, and we try and balance all that. That's a big word for our program, is the word balance, and trying to make sure that they are rested, their mental health is in a good space, that we're talking through things, that we're continuing to work on our connection on and off the court, and that they have the ability to feel like they can breathe away from basketball as well. I think it makes them more effective on the court also.
Agreed. Do you guys plan like a movie night or a team activity to just be like, you know what, we're unplugging for the night, phones off, films off, you guys have worked hard through finals, let's go bowling or do whatever?
We have a couple things planned. We'll have the team Christmas party at my house that we usually do with gift exchange and some good food and that type of thing. We like to get together in multiple different ways throughout the year, but during this downtime, once again, giving them plenty of time on their own to study, to fulfill those things, to have some good social time together. We'll do more of that when we get back from Christmas, when they're not in classes but they're
Sure.
here. We'll have more of that type of stuff after we get back from Christmas. Not as much time now with the academic piece of it, but certainly to start the new year, we'll get them together and enjoy some time together.
We got 3 games coming up. Hiram this Sunday, then Otterbein on the 20th, and then we wrap it up with a New Year's Eve clash with Coppin State to wrap up the non-con. And Coach, these are 3 tune-ups, and we'll leave you with this, just kind of hyping up the fans of what's going to be a grinding MAC schedule. I believe 5 of the top 25 mid-major teams are in this conference, so not only are we going to see some quality play this year with you guys, but once we get into MAC play, I mean, it is going to be a grinded out battle. Like you could have a mid major tournament come Cleveland with the top 8.
Yeah, no question about it. I mean, I think and there's other teams that if you don't pay attention, you can take a road loss or a home loss too. I mean, that's been the power of the MAC is great coaching, players all the way down to from top to bottom in the league. But five teams in the MAC in the top 25 of the mid-major poll, which is more than any other conference in the country. And any one of those teams, I think, can win the conference tournament or the regular season. I think this certainly should be a 2-bid league at bare minimum. There's been some years we may have deserved a third. So looking forward to continuing to get better. We have room to grow, and then ready to attack a tough MAC conference schedule in January.
It starts on Sunday again with the home slate to close out the calendar year with the Hiram Terriers. And Coach, we're looking forward to the 2:00 tip in the MAC. Let's pack this place and send you off to finals week on a good note.
Yeah, excited to have people out and come to an exciting game this Sunday, and we promise a good show for you if you show up. So look forward to having everybody out.
Coach Starkey, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be back with more on Flash Talk, brought to you by Bryant Heating and Cooling. Welcome back to Flash Talk, ladies and gentlemen. We're in the GFTV studios, and we're brought to you by Bryant Heating and Cooling. Talk with head ball coach Rob Senderoff. And, Coach, a little bit of a good news corner here for you guys today, up to number 4 in the mid-major rankings. Both the men's and women's team are ranked in the top 10. It's an exciting time to be a Hoops fan here in Kent.
Yeah, no doubt about it. So, pretty good start to the season. A couple of tough losses. But, overall, we are getting better, and I think we're competing at a pretty high level.
Well, let's talk about that high level. Is you guys go into the tooth of the lion's den, so to speak, where Gonzaga has, I think, like a 68-game winning streak, and you gave them obviously all that you could handle. Not the result that you guys want, but to be able to compete in one of the toughest college basketball environments has got to say a lot for your team, and really can prepare you for some of the stuff you're going to see on the road come February and March.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Gonzaga is an unbelievable program. Great team, one of the top players in college basketball, and Drew Timme. We were up with under 4 minutes to go in the game, and had we made one or two more plays there down the stretch, we might have broken. They now have a 69-game home winning streak. So great environment for a game. It was a great opportunity for our guys. Obviously, just like the Houston game, it's really disappointing that we didn't win the game, but it certainly, gives our team confidence to know that we can play anywhere, go into any gym, and give ourselves a chance if we play really hard.
That was going to be kind of the follow-up, is you've got to take a lot away from that. Obviously, like you said, a learning experience with how everything kind of played out, but the confidence that you've gone onto the road to the top mid-major team in the poll and the top team overall in the country, and giving them everything that you can handle, and that's got to be. That you've got to speak kind of just accolades to your team. Obviously, stuff to grow off of, but look, this is what we can do, and we're not playing our best ball yet.
Yeah, let me start with the mid-major poll. The fact that Gonzaga's in that poll is it makes no sense, except for the league that they play in, because that's they're a blue blood program.
Right.
That's not a mid-major program. So it certainly gives us confidence, knowing that we can compete with anyone. And quite honestly, I think half of the reason why we're in these games is because our players have that confidence when you go into the gym. I think a lot of teams go to the kennel and they've lost the game before the game has started, because it's an intimidating environment, and it's a great environment. And I think for our team, our kids, they played with tremendous confidence and tremendous resolve, and feeling like, hey, we can go in anywhere and play with anyone. We were down 9 in the second half to Houston, battled back and took the lead 39-30 against Houston, and couldn't score for a while. That's a game that generally they end up taking a lead 55-34, and instead we took the lead. They made one more play down the stretch than us. Gonzaga, same thing. We were down 10 early in the second half, down 9, and within 3 minutes we turned a 9-point deficit to a 1-point lead. It went back and forth, and then we hit a 3 by Myron to give us a 4-point lead with about 3 and change to go. And to their credit, there's a lot we can learn from how they finished that game. They hit a big 3. They took a couple charges. Drew Timme had a block shot on a play that, it looked like he was out of the play, and, made a ridiculous defensive effort play down the stretch. But foul line block out, something that, they were up 2 and missed a free throw, and they got an offensive rebound off a missed free throw, which is something that we really pride ourselves on not allowing that to happen. But give them credit. That's what a championship program does, and a championship level team does. But again, from our standpoint, we leave that gym incredibly disappointed that we didn't finish the job, but also with an understanding that we can play with just about anybody in the country if given an opportunity. So we have to continue to make the best of our non-conference season. We have 4 more games left. We have to play as well as we can in each of those games, and then prepare ourselves for January, February, March, which obviously our league is a grind, and it's a totally different deal when we're playing at Central Michigan or at Western Michigan, in terms of the importance of those games, because those games determine if you win or lose your league.
Talk with head coach Rob Senderoff about the non-conference. We got a big kind of local rivalry with a trip up to Cleveland State on Saturday. But the reason I think a lot of the big reason is the defense and how you're staying in a lot of these games, and just the tenacity and the ferociousness that you come into the game to, where the environment's not going to scare you because the defensive effort and the resolve to get to those loose balls, to take those charges, to not back down from an opponent, like you said, where a lot of the Gonzaga's advantage is in that intimidating environment. You guys kind of have that workman, that bulldog, that tenacity to where you're in for those kind of grinded out, dirty type of games.
Yeah, without question. And I think a lot of that it really starts from Sin and Malik. Those 2 guys were on the all-defensive team last year and were tremendous defenders last year. I think both of them have even upped that side of their games even more. And obviously it spreads. It's an entire team deal. Okay, so it takes everybody to be on the same page defensively. But those 2 guys, in terms of their competitiveness, has really it's really energized our team on that side of the ball. So that's what we pride ourselves on. We're playing a team on Saturday in Cleveland State that's a terrific defensive team. Their new coach, Coach Robinson, he's done a really good job mixing in some of the returning players and some new players. And it's going to be a challenging game, just like, as challenging as any of these games that we've played. Cleveland State's won 6 out of 7 games and playing at home, and obviously it's a local rivalry. So it's an important game for them. It's an important game for us. And we're excited about it. We're looking forward to the game Saturday.
It's going to be 3 o'clock up in the Wolstein Center in Cleveland. Obviously, tickets are available. Would love to turn this into a Kent State forward crowd. Would love to see you there. And kind of hearkening back, you mentioned that it starts with your backcourt and it kind of gets contagious. And as far as the defense is concerned, what I love is that it might be a grinded out, a kind of low scoring game on one side, but they don't allow it to carry over to one side of the ball to the other. And then the defense obviously fuels the offense, and then that's where the momentum kind of picks back up. It'd be, like you said, very easy for teams to kind of hang their head once it becomes a 5-10 point ball game, but your defensive resolve has kind of helped fuel it back and kind of jump started that offense again.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And again, I want to make sure when I say, Sin and Malik, in terms of that side of the ball, like Myron's become one of the best ball screen defenders, that there is, that we've had here in years. And Claron's growth as a player has had a huge impact on our team. He protects the basket. He guards, the other team's best front court player. Vaughn's strength and versatility and last year, some of why Jalen struggled to get on the court was because he wasn't locked in defensively, and this year he's been locked in, and Gio makes all of these little hustle plays that don't show up in the box score all the time. So we've competed really hard through 9 games, and we're only about 30% of our season done, so we have a long way to go. We just got to continue to get better, and I'd say stay humble. I think these games have humbled us because it's disappointing that we've lost some of these close games, but it also has given us, like we said, a level of belief that if we do the things that we do, on both sides of the floor, if we just stick to what our program's about, what our core values as a group are about, if we stick to it, it's good enough to beat and play with anybody in the country. So, our plan here is to continue to improve and continue to get better, and hopefully as we do that, more and more people will be excited about watching us play.
It starts with another local, albeit a road game, up in at Cleveland State on Saturday, and then kind of fast forward to the following Sunday when Concord comes into town for the non-conference home finale, if you will. So, Coach, as things kind of take a hiatus for the student part of the student athlete, how are you able to kind of mix and match the practice time with finals, trying to get these guys a little bit of rest off the court and a mental break with the grind of finals and watching film and all that kind of stuff? Like, there's got to be a delicate balance, and what's kind of the secret sauce, if you will, and how you handle it?
Yeah, well, this week and next week are difficult. We traveled back from Gonzaga. It was a long day on Tuesday. We had a light practice Wednesday, and we have these 2 days to get ready for Cleveland State, and then we have finals week. So we'll be off a number of days next week, to help guys with finals. We've had a couple guys with the flu bug seems to be going around, I think, nationally, but it certainly, with all the travel that we've had, it's hit us a little bit. And then we go down to Texas. We have, a tournament down there that'll end our non-conference portion of the schedule. And these guys then get a little bit longer break than usual for Christmas because, with all the travel that we had built into our schedule and knowing that we were going to travel as much as we did, wanted to have a little bit longer break than we normally have leading into league play. So guys will get to go home from Texas, spend Christmas with their families, which, again, in college basketball, sometimes, a lot of times you're traveling back for practice the night of Christmas, or sometimes even spending the whole day Christmas with us. So I'm happy they can, our guys get a chance to go home for a little bit. As you know, we've been here all summer and then went on a foreign tour. So it's a long season, so get a couple days to refresh and then, refocus on the 18-game conference schedule that we'll have starting in January. So these next couple of weeks, it's juggling because we've missed some school and guys have finals, and we have a big game on Saturday, and just came off a big game at Gonzaga. So we try to handle it the best we can, stay as focused as we can on this game Saturday, give our guys a little bit of break for academics, and our academic advisor, she's done a great job with our group as well. Jana, she travels with us when we do miss class. So hopefully we can finish up the classroom well, and then these guys get to really focus just on basketball basically for 3 or 4 weeks while school is out.
Well, we'll leave you with this. You mentioned the defensive tenacity of Cleveland State. On the opposite side of the ball, what do they bring to the table offensively? Obviously, they're 6-3 on the season. Like you said, they're starting to play and kind of hit their stride as a unit. Like you said, a lot of new parts, new staff. So what can we expect from the Vikings?
Yeah, they play similarly to the way we do. I think we try to play a little bit faster, but they play with a physicality on both ends of the floor. Their point guard, Parker, he's an excellent playmaker. Strong with the basketball. He does not turn the ball over. So that's going to be a challenge. They've got a lot of wings who are really, really athletic. And their front court guys, Spider Johnson, I think he's a fifth-year senior. He's been the defensive player of the year in that conference. Really athletic center. They have a good team, and their coach, obviously a new coach, but he's done a great job because it's hard to take over a program that's had as much success as they've had recently. And he's done an excellent job of blending some new guys that he's brought in, the returning guys, and they compete on the they really, really compete defensively, and they try to, be methodical to some degree on offense and wear you down that way. Really good rebounding team. So there's a lot of things that we have to prepare for and be ready for in this game. It's obviously on the road, even though it's close, but we need to be on point to get this one on Saturday, because I have a lot of respect for their program and how this particular team is playing right now.
Tips off at the Wolstein Center at 3 o'clock on a Saturday afternoon. We'd love to see you there. You can catch the game on the Kent State Radio Network or watch it on ESPN+. And then obviously next Sunday, Concord comes into town, the home finale to check us out one more time before MAC play starts. And Coach, it's going to be a lot of fun to see you guys in a regional rivalry.
Yeah, looking forward to the game. Again, you come off this last one and you just want to play again. So excited about Saturday, and obviously local, so hopefully, as many Kent State fans as can get out there. We've had it in the past where it's felt like a home game for us, so hopefully we can have that on Saturday. See everybody a week from Sunday at home right after finals, and then we go on a short trip before conference play.
Well, Coach, we're talking about a couple of big victories as we wrap up the non-con.
That sounds like a plan, Dan. Thanks.